There are currently 460,000 NCAA athletes in the year 2019. That being said, the NCAA also made $1 billion. The student athletes that are in the NCAA did not get any of that money, and that is an issue because of the time commitment and the energy that student athletes are putting into the NCAA monopoly. According to Business Insider, student athletes get paid for their scholarships and their stipends, but they get no cut of the actual $1 billion that the NCAA is making. That money typically goes into new facilities and paying the coaches. Now, I am not fighting for every student athlete to be paid the same amount. I don't agree that volleyball players, softball players, football players, baseball players should all make the same amount because realistically they don't all have the equal fan base. As Michael Wiblin stated, he agrees that every athlete should be paid based on their fan base and their level of play. So basically what I'm saying is a high level basketball player brings in more revenue than a volleyball player does. So realistically, he's going to get more money from the payments that he would get if NCAA athletes were allowed to be paid, which is fair because they're also bringing in more money for the universities. Now, even though athletes are allowed to have stipends, that only happened because Shaviz Nabler, he made a comment to the media about how he often goes to bed hungry because he is unable to afford food. Once the NCAA found this out, they decided to come up with a plan that athletes are allowed to have stipends, which basically covers the cost of living outside of the scholarship money, which is the payment for the university. The NCAA was very quick to get on this issue in 2014. That's when stipends were created. They didn't want the bad media since they are the monopoly within the college sports. They went ahead and fixed the issue right away, which is why they should go ahead and fix this issue right away. The NCAA has been around since 1910, and it has been consistent throughout the creation of it that athletes are sign their life away basically, and that they are not allowed to accept endorsements, payments, or any other type of money, funds from outside of the university check that they get. However, it's not too late to make a change. The stipends, while they do help the cost of living for a little bit, on average they're like $200 a month, which doesn't really do much for a lot of people. One of the Clemson football players talked to the media and said that he gets about $200 with his stipend, and every month he sends it back home to his parents in order for them to pay for his brother to play high school football. This is actually really common within the sports world. 86% of African American NCAA athletes are from families that are below poverty line, so the majority of those athletes send their money back home, leaving them with little to nothing to be able to afford food. It doesn't really add up since the NCAA and all the sports teams want their athletes to perform at the highest level, yet they're not allowing them to reach their highest benefits that they get. So imagine 10 years from now and your favorite collegiate sport doesn't exist. It's getting more and more popular nowadays that baseball and basketball players are trying to go straight from high school to the league, eliminating the whole collegiate sports play. Most of their decision making based off of Gator Sports says that they are focused more on being able to provide for their family, and they don't view a college education as important as getting $1 million paycheck handed to them. If this keeps up, the majority of those athletes that are capable of playing at such high level, they won't go to college, and your favorite sports team probably won't exist. I actually have a dear friend of mine, Mason Denneberg. He went straight from high school to the MLB. He was committed to Florida to play baseball. However, when he got his offer of millions of dollars, it makes more sense to take that rather than get 4 years of college and then go play your sport as your job and then make millions, rather than make millions now, make millions later. He was actually able to pay off his family's mortgage. He has been allowed to play at the highest level while also getting the full benefits of being paid millions. So, in conclusion, if you were able to play at your sport at the highest level, wouldn't you want to be able to receive full benefits? Personally, being a student athlete myself, I think that this topic is very important because a college education is very valuable, but student athletes are often missing out because they reasonably view the millions of dollars they could be making over a 4-year college degree when all they want to do after college is play sports. I think that we're able to make a change today, and if you are willing, you should go sign the petition to get rid of the rules and regulations that do not allow NCAA athletes to do sponsorships, payments, or any other sort of endorsement outside of the NCAA payment that they get. I'm Riley Fisher. Thank you for listening. I will now be doing questions. Anaya?
Should athletes who are on scholarship receive stipends?
I do think that they should receive stipends because I think they're working just as hard as the other athletes. They're going in the weight room, they're practicing. I think that they should be able to have their dorms or books or food at least paid for. At least part of it, since they're working just as hard. Next question? Yes, Lauren?
So since you believe that athletes should get a stipend, do you still think endorsements should be allowed?
I think that becomes problematic because, like for example, Florida is sponsored by Nike. So if one of my teammates were asked to do an endorsement with Adidas, that would kind of be counterintuitive because we're sponsored by Nike. So I think that you should be allowed to do endorsements if it stays within your sponsorship. Yes.
If the athletes are receiving a paycheck, would that lower the coach's paycheck as well?
I think that it would have to because, for example, Nick Saban is making $7.9 million this coming year, and there's some high school teachers that are making $25,000. So I think that by lowering their paycheck even by $1 million could help give the college athletes money that they could have well spent.